Hello friends, it's Maricore. Welcome back to my channel. Thanks for stopping by. Today we have another journal with me. So after I did my last journal with me video, I went on to my Instagram, and in my stories I had asked people for some help in what kind of topics I should talk about, or if they had any questions. So today we're gonna answer some questions that I got from them. So thank you for whoever replied back to my story with questions. That really helped me out. So let's start. Actually, before we start, I want to ask, how are you guys? Hopefully you're all doing well, and I know that right now times are a little bit tough, so I just hope that you guys are keeping your head up, staying positive. But I also want to say that it's okay to feel down sometimes. I know that I've had a couple of rough days this past week, so I just want to let you know that I know a lot of people are saying, oh, stay safe, stay healthy, stay positive, we can get through this, which is totally encouraging and totally uplifting, of course, but I also want to make sure that you guys know that it's okay to feel down sometimes, because sometimes that's just life. That's just how it's gonna be, so it's okay to feel emotions. Anyway, off topic. So let's get to some questions that I was asked. Let's see how many we can get through. I only got a couple, so this first one we got is pretty simple. She asked me, what languages do I speak, and do you journal in those languages? I actually only speak one language fluently, which is English. I really, really wish that I had the time and the brain capacity to really learn all the languages I want to learn, because I do have a lot of to learn languages on my list. You know what I mean? So I have a lot of lists of languages that I would love to learn, and maybe one day I'd get to them, but we'll see. So I'm Filipino. My husband is Vietnamese, and we really love Korean culture. So it would be nice to be able to understand and speak Tagalog, Vietnamese, and Korean. But I would say I know a couple words from each of those languages, but I'm definitely not fluent. My husband is fluent in Vietnamese, so it's easy. It's helpful that he's there, that he could translate for me for, some of his family or whatever. I know a couple of phrases and things like that in Tagalog because, of course, my parents. I'm definitely not fluent, though. And I did make an attempt to start learning Korean. So I probably read at like a kindergarten level of Korean. I did get into buying those Talk to Me in Korean books, if you know what I'm talking about. Because, hello, BTS. Well, actually, before BTS, I was really into like K-drama and K-pop before BTS. Like, I really liked Big Bang. And one thing that me and my friend always talk about is that we wish we could watch our K-dramas or listen to Korean music and things like that without having to read lyrics or read captions on a screen, because we love multitasking and we love having that stuff on and like cleaning or journaling or doing other things. So it would be really nice if we could have it on and still understand what they were saying on the screen. But it's a slow process of learning, and learning a new language is probably a lot harder if you only are fluent in one. And I know that you'd have to practice every day, practice consistently and constantly, or else you're going to forget. I feel like I've started the learning process like at least 3 times, and I always have to go back because I always forget if you take a big break. So that's my language story. I usually, if I journal, I'm usually doing it in English, obviously. I have done a little bit of Korean in my journals, and that's because, of course, I'll look up if it's like lyrics to a song or something and it's in Korean, then I'll write the, Hangul in my journal. So it's funny that I could read Korean characters, but that's as far as it goes. Basically, I don't understand a lot of words. So, anyways, so that is my language story. Let's see. So the next question I got was, any tips for a beginner getting into this type of journaling? Oh, so the biggest tip that I have, well, I have a couple, but I think the first one that really comes to mind is use what you have. Because when I started getting into journaling and like creative journaling, I got overwhelmed with all the beautiful spreads I saw on Instagram and all the journal with me's I saw on YouTube. And I wouldn't say I'm even an experienced or seasoned journaler, because I've been journaling a really long time, just personally, but putting it on my Instagram or even making these videos, I'm still pretty new at it. So I do want to say, before you spend a bunch of money, before you spend your life savings on all the things and buying all the things and buying all the journals and the paper and the stickers and the washi tape and all of the stuff, I would say just get like a notebook, or even, just some copy paper, even make your own journal insert. Or, I think the biggest mistake I made was that I bought a whole bunch of stuff, because before I even got to this point, I was really into calligraphy and bullet journaling, which I still do a little bit of calligraphy, but I rarely bullet journal now. But I had really gotten into looking at other people's bullet journal spreads and all this stuff. And of course, everyone recommends, like, oh, this is the notebook, the kind of notebook you should get, or this is the kind of pens you should use. And I bought a whole bunch of stuff. I went to Michael's. I ordered my Lord's-Term notebook on, I think it was, I don't know if it was on Amazon or somewhere. Well, I bought it online. I bought all these felt tip pens, because that's what a lot of people use. I had the Pigma Micron ones, and oh my goodness. So at a couple of months, actually, it was pretty good. I like doing it. It helped me, keep track on tasks and things like that. But at the end of this bullet journal journey that I had, I realized I did not like felt tip markers or felt tip pens, because at first I had a heavy hand when I wrote in my notebooks, and the felt tip pens it's such a soft tip at the end, and I would basically destroy the pen. So it would be shaped in a different way, or I would wear out the tip of it. So in the beginning, it would be nice and thin, and it would look beautiful. But after a couple of pages, the felt tip markers started getting really thick, and all this ink was coming out because I had smashed the top of it. So the point of the story is that really use what you have and figure out what you really, really like, because it could be easy to get persuaded into something you think you like, or something you think you really stay, or something you really think you'll be into because it looks so good on Instagram or it looks so good on a screen. So I think people should really spend their time trying to figure out their own style or what they really like to do in their own journals. Then you could, start buying things slowly. I didn't get all these supplies at one big haul, of course. So at first I, bought some washi tape and then bought some stickers, and it just slowly accumulated into this whole collection, because after you figure out what you really like, then you could obviously start spending your money on something like that. So yeah, really just find out what you really like and invest in something that you'll use, basically, because I have a whole bunch of unused things. And even this traveler's notebook that I'm using, this passport size, is not an official traveler's company notebook. It's one that I made myself. I bought like a piece of leather from Michael's, and I had elastic already, so I just had cut it down to size, because I really wanted, before I invested $50 in a passport size traveler's notebook, I really wanted to make sure that I liked the size. So I've had this for a really long time and it works. Maybe one day, I think, as maybe a birthday present to myself, I'll buy the official one, because now I know that I'll be using it. So that is my one biggest tip on beginner journalers. Just really use what you have before you spend your entire wallet on all the supplies that you think you might need but end up not using. Another tip that I want to talk about goes along the lines of seeing all these beautiful spreads online, is to not feel discouraged about your style. I mean, I could still follow this piece of advice myself, because I follow so many people on Instagram, and so many beautiful spreads bless my eyes every day on my timeline. So, and it's hard. It really is difficult to not compare your journal to theirs or compare your style to theirs. And a good reminder for everyone, including myself, is remember why you started journaling. It's because you really have a passion for paper and putting down your feelings on paper and writing them down and things like that. And it's all about your feelings, really. Like, it's hard to go on Instagram and see a lot of artists and their journals. It's really hard not to compare yourself to them, but at least try to keep it in the back of your mind that you have your own style, and instead of trying to figure out how you can copy those other people or how to make your journal look like theirs, really just do what you feel is right. You can definitely take inspiration from those people. I obviously do. I have a certain style, but it really took me a long time to figure out what I really like. So I just want to say, do it because you love it. Do it because it's fun. But don't feel discouraged. You'll get to a place where you really like your own style at one point, and then you'll love it even more. So hopefully that was helpful for you and encouraging. And we're kind of getting toward the end of the video, so I'll just let it play out. I couldn't get to all the questions I got on Instagram, so we can do another journal with me video and I can answer those questions on that one. I hope you guys enjoyed, and let me know if you have any questions, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!